The rumors are true. Ognjen Mimović is leaving Red Star Belgrade, and he is signing with Fenerbahce, Turkish Giants, for a reported fee of 8.7 million euros plus 10% of next fee, plus 10% of next sale. So Ognjen Mimović is an interesting player. Right back who filled in for Kosta Nedeljković, who was injured last season. Kosta Nedeljković since has been sold to Aston Villa for a reported fee of around 9-10 million euros. And now Ognjen Mimović is leaving for about 8.7. So he kind of stepped in. Ognjen Mimović wasn't a hyped up player like Kosta Nedeljković, who was, people were talking about him about a year and a half ago when he was, still a 16-year-old. Ognjen Mimović kind of came in quietly, and once he became a part of the first team, he pretty much solidified that position, and the right back position was his to basically lose. Once Kosta Nedeljković departed, Ognjen Mimović was the starting right back. It's a shame that in the first match of Champions League this season, he got injured in the first 20 minutes. He was out for about 2-3 months, which was a big blow to Red Star, because now we had to put players in that right back position who weren't used to playing there. We had midfielders sliding there. We had left backs playing right back, and it was just a bit of a disaster altogether. But Ognjen Mimović came back. Red Star just beat Young Boys 1-0 in the last match of the Champions League. I thought that Mimović was the best player on the pitch. He does it in both directions, defensively, offensively. He has a great cross for a player who's, I say, only 20 years old. I know a lot of people think that 20 years old, a player who's 20 years old, he's already, up there in age. But realistically, he's just someone who started getting playing time for Red Star last season, towards the middle of last season, and has just really blossomed as a player. He's developed very well in the little time that he has been a starter for Red Star. And like I said, he kind of came out of nowhere. A lot of people didn't really expect too much. When I heard about him, I thought the same thing. I just thought that he was going to be a regular player, maybe someone who could fill in at right back when the starting right back was out injured or just needed a rest. But he has really, really taken to the position. He's been exceptional in that role. And I think, I go back to the injury. It sucks that he did get injured. I thought that the experience in the Champions League would have done him very well going forward. And now still, when a manager like Jose Mourinho, one of the best of all times, calls you to come to his club, it's hard to reject that. And the money was great as well. Saint Etienne was a rumored destination as well. I think they were offering something like 5-6 million euros. Red Star wanted more. Fenerbahce swooped in and did sign him for 8.7 and 10% of next sale. I think this is a great move for him. I think this is kind of the next step in his development. If he gets playing time right from the start, we're going to see. I don't really know what Fenerbahce's plans are, what to do with him. Once he does get there, is he going to be loaned out somewhere else? Is he going to play from the first minute? And all it really takes is for one, God forbid, an injury to a player, and then you kind of step in and you show your worth. And I go back to kind of a player that's not involved with either team, but Alphonso Davies was a guy who joined Bayern Munich, who was supposed to go out on loan. I think Theo Hernandez got injured, and then he stepped in, and it's been pretty much his position for the last, 4 or 5 seasons. So it just shows you that you kind of need some luck in it as well. I think what's going to help him, a lot of XU players there. I mean, you have Dusan Tadic, you have Kostic there, you have Edin Dzeko, you have Livakovic, who plays in the back line, which I think once he gets back from, I believe Livakovic is injured, it's going to do well for Mimović, because he'll have someone behind him who he can understand and who can speak the same language. But like I said, he does a lot of things very well. He's not the tallest player, but he's fairly fast. Defensively, he's very good. Offensively, he's getting better. Like I said, he can whip in a ball. He does an excellent job, actually, of crossing the ball, which is something that younger players usually maybe don't do that well. And I think he does that exceptionally well. One of the best parts of his game. He can play that 1-2 pass exceptionally well. He's very good in the box where he has to get through tight spaces. He's good at navigating that, laying the ball off to teammates, whatever needs to be done. And obviously he was... There's a video circulating. I think it's from the last Champions League match against PSV, where he was in tears after the team had lost. Just an ultimate team guy. He's sad to go, but he realizes this is the next move in his career. And like I said, after almost less than a year at the club, he's already going to a huge club like Fenerbahce, and I hope he gets playing time from the first minute there. And like I said, there's a lot of players there who can help him out and who he can learn from. And I think this is the start of his career. And then the national team, I think with the matches coming up in March or April, I fully expect to see his name on that list, especially since we're lacking at that right back position. We have him, and ironically, Kosta Nedeljković is the player who was sold in favor of Mimović. We have, hopefully they're both, knock on wood, healthy, and that they can start playing for the national team as well. But again, this is a great move, great stepping stone for Mimović to prove his worth in a very good league, where hopefully, like I said, he will be getting playing time. Sad to see him go, but I think this is a great step for him. To the Fenerbahce fans, if you have any questions about Mimović, please let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, and yeah, we'll talk down the road.